Hi, Kerry. How are you?
Hi, Daniel. So nice to see you. How are you and your family?
We're doing great. Staying home. How about you?
Me too. Home with my
Perfect.
cats. Um, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me. I know a lot of people are kind of wondering what's happening in your industry, what's happening with the housing market, with loans, and I wanted to get your expert advice and find out what's happening on your end right now. What are you seeing a lot of?
So there is a lot of changes right now that is going on. A lot of people, obviously, they're getting furloughed. Uh, People are being working less hours instead of 40. Now they're working only 20 hours. And this is happening whether I have a transaction going on or it's a pre-approval stage. So I'll give you a couple of examples. I have a few deals that were supposed to fund the loan. They already signed docs. Next thing you know, they're doing what is called a verbal verification of employment, and the employer is saying this person just got furloughed. So that means that the bank is not going to give you a loan just because you're no longer working 40 hours or you're on the furlough. So it is a big deal in our industry just because if we are not working, you're not going to get a loan, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard like 2 days before close of escrow that they do a verification of employment, and
Mhm.
yes, that's really sad. What are you seeing any, like, are there some alternatives? Are there some other moves that you can make strategically? Some other options that if you're ready to close and then they do a verification of employment, what would you suggest your clients do?
We're pretty much getting in communication with the clients very often to make sure that like if they're in the process of purchasing, make
Mhm,
sure that you're working those 40 hours
mhm,
because a lot of times they are actually getting paid still like 40 hours, but they're just not going to work. Like
mhm,
have that conversation with your employer and say, listen, I'm in the middle of buying my house. If
mhm.
you verify that I'm no longer working, I'm not going to get a loan. So a lot of times they have a really good relationship with the HR department. And again, we don't want to give a loan that they're going to do a forbearance, so they're going to be delayed on their payment. I mean, we want to make sure that we give uh, these loans and they're going to be paid back. But again, they just need to have a more communication with their HR department and also with us and be open and transparent because we're here to help them achieve getting their house. But we need to be very transparent when it comes to that. So we are in the same page.
Yes. So you are troubleshooting. You're actually going a step ahead for your clients. So you are already anticipating what things could happen in the future, and you're guiding them and you're advising them and you're actually heading off problems before they appear.
Yeah, and this is just like whenever we get someone pre-approved on the pre-approval stage and the big do's and don'ts, right? What
Right.
should you be doing when you're getting pre-approved? Well, you should stay at your same job, right? Keep your 40 hours. Like, don't try to take some days off. Uh, Keep your balances on your bank statements. Like the big don'ts is do not change jobs.
Mhm.
Do not deposit any cash on your account.
Mm,
Don't co-sign for anybody. Don't buy any cars. Just
mm.
because if you get a car payment and the car payment is 500, $700, you're just gonna drop your purchase power significantly.
Wow.
And it can be as much as 40, 50, $80,000 purchase power that you're gonna lose by obtaining a new car. So those are
Wow.
the little things that you don't wanna do while you're getting pre-approved. Uh,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
we always pretty much, sorry.
that's very valuable information because I actually was talking to a few people yesterday and I said, did you know that you're not supposed to like buy a car or make any big purchases when you're like within a couple of months, a few months before buying a house? And none of them knew that. So I
Yeah,
really appreciate that information.
a lot of people have cash at home and they just don't deposit it for some reason at the bank.
Mhm.
We don't really request no more than 2 months of bank statement. So if you have that cash at home, just deposit it in your bank little by little because we're just going to require 2 months. Uh, so
Okay.
if I see a 1 month bank statement, we can literally start home shopping because by the time we are into escrow, we're already going to have 2 months, which that's what the bank requires. We don't go like 6 months or more requesting bank statements. Only 2 months. That's what the bank needs.
Okay. Wow, that's very helpful. Are you seeing a lot of deals falling apart right now?
Yes, and it's due to the COVID-19 because of the employment furlough, or they're not working what that they were working before. Instead of 40 hours, they're working only 20, or
Mm,
they're working only 2 days out of the 5 days.
mhm.
So it is happening, but we just need to keep moving and keep the clients and give the clients advice what needs to be done for them to be able to complete this transaction. So yeah, there's a lot of movement. And just to touch a little bit on the programs, a lot of investors are changing their guidelines when it comes to if they want to refinance and cash out money. Now a lot of the banks are moving away from that, so they don't want to do any more cash out refinances. We're still in the norm. We have our FHA product, which goes down to 580 FICO score,
Mhm,
conventional loans to 620 FICO score.
mhm,
We're still doing 1 year tax returns. So we have all the programs that you can think of,
mhm.
when nothing changes. Why? Because we have so many outlets to do our loans with, and that's the reason that we're able to do this, all these type of loans.
That's amazing because I heard the requirement for the FHA product like a few weeks ago was the requirement was 680 and then 700 for some other lenders.
Mhm.
So it's amazing that you have so many products that you can actually offer your clients.
Yeah, and if we're getting notice that one of them is gonna go away, we start pretty much researching on who's actually doing them,
Mm,
and getting the that access to that bank to be able to keep doing them, because we cannot just sit down and say, oh, well, we're going to wait until this COVID goes away and we're just going to not do them. We need to pretty much be very proactive and start searching for new ways to keep doing loans.
yes, I mean, that's basically what we have to do for our industry because housing is an essential need. People do need to move. There's a lot of situations that are happening in day to day life that don't stop for COVID-19. So, I appreciate that you go way above and beyond for your clients to find them products to help them achieve their real estate goals. So, that's really cool.
Yeah, and the beauty about this industry, I've been doing it for 18 years, and the beauty about it is that people don't realize that they can get pre-approved.
Hmm.
They think that they're way too far of being able to buy a house. And when they sit down or we do a Zoom call with them, literally in 15, 20 minutes, they'll find out what they're pre-approved for.
That's
And
amazing.
they may not be ready right now, but guess what? We just don't want qualified buyers, right? We want to guide them and educate them on how are you going to become a homeowner, maybe in 3 months or maybe in 6 months. So we're really good at guiding the consumer or
Mhm.
the future home buyer how to get ready for the next few months so they can achieve the American dream, right?
So, Daniel, what would you suggest for people that have credit that needs to be worked on? A lot of people are too embarrassed to ask what they should do, or they just don't want to confront it. What do you suggest?
Uh, So FHA is 580 FICO score, conventional 620. Those are really bad FICO scores, but yet the banks are still giving out loans with those low FICO scores. My advice is let's get started by looking at the credit, and what I can do, I can guide you on how to get the FICO score better. So I'll give you an example. If you go to Credit Karma has the ability to do like a what if scenario. What's going to happen with my score if I drop my balances to, I don't know, 20%? I can do the same thing on my end, but the difference is that my system is a lot more accurate because I have access to all three credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And I can actually do a lot of what if simulators where if I want to take my score from 500 to 580, or if I want to take my FICO score to 620 to 700, I can either go by points or I can do it by availability of cash that I have to bring these balances down. So all those I can actually get them done, and it works very easy. It takes me literally like 10 minutes to put some numbers together, and I'll guide you on what needs to be done.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great. It gives people a lot of hope so they can get into position to buy a home. Well, Daniel, I really appreciate your time this morning. You offered some very valuable information for all the buyers out there. And I really appreciate your time. I hope that you and your family stay safe. And I actually look forward to doing another one of these with you soon.
Yeah, let's do it anytime. Kerry, thank you for your time, and looking forward to help some future home buyers.
Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
You
Bye-bye.
too.